Hey Gamecats, it's me, Wonder Rob. Hey Rhodey, I can't wait to see you when you get here to Portland, Oregon, buddy. Woo!
Hi, Rhodey here from Portland, Oregon on my tour of the country. And I'm here with my friend Wonder Rob.
Yo, everybody, see, now you finally see what I look like. Woo! Hey, it's time for
Viewer Takeover!
This is Viewer Takeover, where we film whenever we feel like. It seems like the normal schedule is going to be Sunday night, and then we air it pretty much whenever we feel like it. But the normal schedule, I think, from this point going forward, it will be Tuesday, which I think it used to be already.
Yeah, we're getting back on the saddle, folks.
Yeah, it took a little while. I was dealing with dental surgery, and I was dealing with being tired, and Des was kind of like migrating into his new job, and now it's all sort of like settling. So hopefully we'll be back on a normal schedule soon.
Definitely.
As always, my name is Brian Paul, and to my right, your left, is Desiree the Strange.
Hello.
And we have to say thank you right off the bat.
Yes.
Awesome introduction by Wonder Rob and Rhodey the Game Cat. Dude, how cool is it when Game Cats meet up in real life?
Not only are they made up in real life, they actually bring amazing props.
Right? Yeah, I didn't think we were actually going to see Wonder Rob the entire time, but then you get that like 2 frames at the very end of the video where it's like, there he is, he's hiding.
No, that was really fantastic.
That was really great. Wonder Rob, amazing artist, but also I love that he's bringing his art to our Viewer Takeover introduction. If you want to introduce next week's Viewer Takeover, make sure you send your short, sweet, sexy, seductive, psychopathic ICP introduction to. There's got to be one juggler out there that's like, oh, he said psychopathic ICP.
I dodged that bullet by like a fraction of an inch.
Wait, you were almost a juggler?
I picked up their first like 2 albums, and like I was down with the clown.
Wow.
Yeah.
I learn something new about Des every single week. Make sure you send your short, sweet, seductive video to withoutparole@gmail.com. Remember, it's a Gmail account, so keep it short, keep it simple, keep it low resolution. It'll fit. And like Jeremy says, if it doesn't fit in the inbox, consider yourself lucky. But Wonder Rob and Rhodey are not the only 2 people we want to thank this week.
No.
Desiree are he.
Actually, I really want to thank Rhodey.
Are they?
You know why?
Oh yeah, you guys had a good time, right?
Yeah, but we'll talk about that next week probably. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
I don't know.
We also want to thank these people.
Yes.
These people down here.
Yay.
These are people who went to patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
And they're the ones giving us $1 or more every single month. I almost said week. I was like, that's going to get expensive.
Yep.
It is basically the way to get your name down here. If you don't see your name down here and you are a Patreon supporter, keep in mind 2 things. 1, we only have to update the list on the 1st of every month.
Yes.
And 2, make sure you select the Game Cats Unite option. Some people want to donate anonymously, and we want to make sure that those people remain anonymous.
And to be clear, it doesn't cost any more to be in Game Cats Unite. We just want to respect your privacy if you want it respected. So
it's not a separate
give you the
tier.
option.
I think they call it a tier, but it's the same price.
Yep.
Actually, you name your price. It's $1 or more. It's your call. But also, the other thing you get over on patreon.com/withoutparole
games
is an episode, not weekly, because I'm really bad about getting that stuff done, but every so often, every couple weeks, we put up a short segment called The Litter Box where Des and I hang out. We talk shop. We talk about stuff that happens behind the scenes here at Without Parole.
Games.
In games. Oh, in games. But also other stuff, like just sort of like PSVR tangential things. Some things that are not related whatsoever. I mean, who knows what we're going to talk about this week? This week.
Spoiler, this week for the Litter Box, we're going to be talking about this thing here.
And if you're curious what that thing is, patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
Just $1 or more every single month.
Yep.
Okay. But and then the final group of people we want to thank before we really get started here at Viewer Takeover are the people who changed their name to something the Game Cat, because of course the Game Cats are the loyal following of Without Parole.
Yeah, this is a great way to show your support. Let's say you don't want to do the donation thing. Totally get it. That's cool.
I don't really get it.
It's $1 a month.
Of course we get it.
But I mean, it's another way to show your support absolutely free and help spread the word and help just everyone on the internet see it. That's to change your name
on YouTube or Google or whatever.
YouTube. Yes. Yeah. And that way, if you comment on someone else's video, something the Game Cat will come up, and people might say, "Hey, what's a Game Cat?"
And you get to say,
"Us, motherfucker."
That's right. I love when you swear. Yeah. So who changed your name to Game Cat this week, Desiree?
This week we have Billy Goat Catfish, the self-editing Game Cat.
It's a mouthful. There's also a whole story involving
self-editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of that.
Billy kept ending up in in our spam folder, the
really?
YouTube spam folder, and it turns out he just likes to edit his own comments a lot.
Oh,
and so
okay.
when it got edited multiple times, it gets straight over to spam.
Gotcha.
Who else we got?
We have Billy Paw, the Game Cat.
Finally, Billy Paw. Thank you.
Oh, hello, Billy Paw. And we have Hotcakes.
It's about time. You know how many times Hotcakes has tried to like screw you up when you read his name?
Didn't I do that? Didn't I do exactly this in an episode that we didn't air? I did Hotcakes.
It's very possible.
All right, you got me. Hotcakes, the badass # Game Cat.
It's Hotcakes. Thank you, dude.
Or Hotcakes, as we say in Worcester.
I don't think we say that here.
Yep, we have pancakes and.
But what we really do
cupcakes.
here on Viewer Takeover is we search the Discord server, the # Viewer Takeover channel. Make sure you join our Discord server. Links in the description. Also, we search the comments for the # Viewer Takeover for your questions, your comments, and we try to answer them right here on the air.
Yes.
So, let's start with the first one. Comes from Billy Paw. Oh, who must have sent his comment before he changed his name to GameCat. From PSVR this week, he writes, with the death of Starblood Arena, do you think that other Sony published IPs are also in trouble, or is this an isolated incident? Also, do you think this is fair to people who paid for the game? # Viewer Takeover.
Yeah, I think we have two very different questions there.
I think so.
And I'm going to take the second one first. Do I think this is fair? Absolutely not. We had a situation where, there are games in history that were just multiplayer games, that were only ever going to be multiplayer games, and eventually they became unpopular and went away. I kind of get that. Okay, the whole purpose of this game was to be multiplayer. There are 5 people playing it. That's going to go away. But this was a multiplayer game that had a single-player patch loaded and ready to go. It had a pretty good single-player tutorial mode kind of built in.
Yeah, you can play against bots and stuff.
Right, yeah. And all that had to happen was Sony to flip that magical switch, let that update go out, and we'd be all a lot happier. Yeah. Instead, they decided not to do that, and so now you've wasted money on a game that's not even that old.
When this game came out in 2017, about 2 years ago.
2 years ago, that's
it was $40. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people bought this at launch, spent $40, and now their game is literally a coaster.
Yeah,
it's sad.
I've been looking for one for work. Maybe I'll do that.
I have a few laying around here.
Yeah,
I signed one and then just a pile of other ones.
It's unfair to the developer. It's unfair to the people who bought it. It's unfair to everybody. I think there's just I don't know the reasoning behind it. It's crap.
It is crap.
So first question though.
Yeah, are other Sony published IPs also in trouble? The fact that we already know when Drive Club VR servers are going down, it's like sometime next year, that's a bad sign. That's saying, okay, we're 2 down.
Yeah.
Right? That's a bad sign.
Well, I think what Sony is teaching people is don't go into business with us. Well, if you'd like your game to succeed, don't partner with us.
2 things about Drive Club.
Yeah.
1, you will be able to play it offline still.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine by me. I'm like, I get it. When the online component shuts down, when you're shutting down the servers, as long as I can still play the game,
right,
I'm okay with it. Like,
that's the big difference.
I'm not happy about it, but I'm okay with it. Right? And the other thing is that Evolution Studios, who made Drive Club, they shut down before Drive Club proper even came out. I think that was a studio fraught with difficulties. Drive Club was a game fraught with development problems. That just got delayed and delayed. I think it's supposed to be a PS4 launch title that didn't happen. Right. So Evolution, I'm just assuming that they weren't a very profitable studio and had to be shut down. And there's probably no one taking care of this game anymore.
Yeah.
So hopefully these are 2 isolated incidents.
Well, and that's the thing. I think it is. I threw some shade on Sony there, but honestly, it is a case-by-case basis. I don't think you can generalize to all games based on these 2 situations because they were each crappy in their own different ways. It's like the old, War and Peace Tolstoy. Every happy family is pretty much the same. Every unhappy family is unhappy in their own way.
Yeah.
So.
And if you never got to play Starblood, or if you're curious about what the game was all about, or what White Moon Dreams had created for PSVR, we did a farewell stream.
Yeah.
I called AJ before the stream, and I said, "Listen, dude, I was tired and I didn't feel like playing anything at all. Forget about Starblood. I was like, I'm just not really in the mood. I'm like, let's get online. let's do a live stream. Let's pay our respects.
Yeah.
It's like kind of hopping into a funeral and being like, we're gonna miss you, and then leaving before any food is served. I'm not sure do they serve food at funerals.
It depends on your
I don't really
traditions.
know. Wakes. I'm not sure how
wakes.
these all work. And I was like, let's hop in, pay our respects, and get out. And we got in, started playing.
Yep.
8 hours later, I said,
Wow.
Yeah, because we at a certain point you go, well, let's see if the servers go down while we're playing.
Right.
We didn't have an exact time. But midnight came and went. We're like, well, let's keep going. We started at 7 p.m. We didn't stop till 3 a.m. because we figured Pacific time. Yeah. That would be midnight.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. So I was like, let's at least go to 3 a.m. and see what happens. So we played for 8 hours. I played for 8 hours straight. A lot of the cats jumped in. I got to see. The great thing was I got to see a lot of the OG game cats, a lot of the people who Starblood first brought us together. Yep. And that was so meaningful to me, and I don't know if I was able to convey that on the stream because I was so damn tired. But man, being able to play with Lewis Knight, being able to play with Seraphim 190, being able to play with JD Max the game cat, being able to play with obviously Dave Station, obviously God Cannon, but man, just like I felt like everyone came out of the woodwork and was like, let's pay our final respects and salute White Moon Dreams the way they deserve to be saluted. And man, we love you guys, and we hope that your next project gets way more love than your last one.
It's one of my favorite t-shirts right here, guys.
How did I even pay attention? I'm so unattentive. This is why I'm single.
I've been in this room for 3.5 hours now, and that's okay.
All right, I don't pay attention. I'm so sorry.
I noticed his haircut right away.
I'm so sorry. I got my haircut. All right, you're up, Asia.
Yes, we have. I'm gonna try that again. We have
Hotcaks.
Hotcaks. Sorry, I'm calling them cupcakes from now on.
I love it.
Want to go to the Queen's Cups and get some cupcakes?
Ooh, Queen's Cups.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, so good.
Scruffzilla. Oh, did you know that's like Jeremy's cousin or something? Yeah. Anyways, Scruffzilla
Queen Kings
on Vacation in Sim. PSVR review discussion. Hey, we did that.
We totally did that.
Hey guys, I'm curious as to your thoughts.
That's what we're here for.
Okay. With more reports coming out that the PSVR 2 will indeed be a wireless device, but will still be an add-on that requires a PS5, how will that work? As someone who recently bought an Oculus Quest, I don't understand why a wireless PSVR 2 would require a PS5. Aha, that we can answer.
I like the question, yeah.
It seems to me that an internet connection and a PSN account would be the only requirement. # viewer takeover.
Can I take the third question first?
Yes.
Thank you. This is very quiz night. Or 21, I think is the, I don't know, whatever. I have a Quest.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Amazon suddenly, it was supposed to be like late August.
Right, it was like crazy back order.
Yeah, and then Amazon just sent me a notification last week that says shipped. And I was like,
found one.
Sweet. Which is perfect.
I moved some crap by the desk and found one there, so here you go.
Which is perfect. Thanks, Amazon, because I was just about to cancel it. I was like, I don't actually have that kind of money laying around right now, but that's what credit cards are for, folks. Yep. So the, and here's the thing about the Quest. Love the Quest.
Yes.
Right? I love that it sort of shows some advanced features that maybe we'll see in PSVR 2. What I don't love about the Quest is its processing power.
Yes.
I was playing, I played a couple games on the Quest, and they very much look like, and I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but they definitely, they look like glorified cell phone VR games.
Okay.
I mean, there's not a ton of horsepower going on here.
Yeah.
The games look good. But I mean, they are nowhere near the graphical fidelity of, some of the bigger games that PSVR has.
Yeah.
And I think that is sort of the answer to the question here.
Yes, it is.
I don't know specifically what the processor is in the Quest, but I think the important part about PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2 is going to be the processing power that PS5 gives to the headset.
Right.
Because you start putting like mobile processing power in a headset, and not only does it weigh it down in all sorts of weird ways that you don't want it to, but also it limits your graphical capabilities.
Right.
And we want a major step up when we go next generation.
Yeah. I think things like the Oculus Quest, what they do is they make us forget the headset is in a lot of ways a glorified monitor.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a monitor that has some visual tracking and things like that, and I don't want to diminish it too much. There's a lot of high tech stuff going on there. It's tracking back, sending information about position and location, all that back and forth. But it's really just a monitor. The power is the box that's under your TV. Okay. And that's going to be the case for the PS5. Like one thing that Sony has been on the cutting edge of is like they want to be the biggest, shiniest, newest, most powerful. We want more teraflops of whatever, like the kind of stuff I don't tend to care about. But that being said, that's why the PS5, even if it's wireless, which I still don't know. I mean, I'm a kind of technical guy, and I don't know how you can get that much data that quickly back and forth.
Keep in mind
that
Google Stadia is coming out. And if Google Stadia is able to over not Wi-Fi, over just 3G or whatever, 5G, be able to stream, they're claiming 4K 60 FPS, maybe not out of the box, but this is very important technology for PS5 and PSVR 2.
But the difference is it's not just delivering the information to the screen, which you can you can do like 4K streaming now on certain gaming platforms. I'm talking about the throughput, because to get proper position tracking, it needs to be generated there, up to here, my head moves, that motion is there and back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that, you play games with a low refresh rate, and that's when the sickness comes, that's when the game starts looking crappy and all that. So it's not just, yes, I need the throughput of the pretty pictures to here. The pretty pictures have to go here, position location has to go there, and back and back and back. And so we were talking back when we worked at the restaurant together.
It was so long ago.
Like I had a dream of, what I want the PS5 to be the Switch. I want to be able to pull out the headset and walk around with it and have the Oculus Quest quality games, but then go back home and hook it up to my PS5 and have the really deep level.
It could be that.
Yeah.
It could totally still be that. I think Sony has been kind of open about PlayStation 5, but they've been sort of closed off about PSVR 2.
Yes.
They said PSVR 1 will totally be, forward compatible with PlayStation 5, and you'll be able to play all your PS4 VR games on the PlayStation 5, but they haven't said a word about what they're doing specifically for PSVR 2. So
and the patent sheet doesn't count, okay? Calm the fuck down.
It's all rumors. Because we've seen patents for all sorts of amazing controllers and devices and headsets that will never see the light of day. It's all just making sure that they've crossed their T's and dotted their I's.
Well, exactly. An engineer came up with this idea. They looked around. Does anyone else have this idea yet? Okay.
It's ours.
Boom.
Just
patent.
in case.
Yep.
Right. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
But also, I'm even after playing the Quest, and this don't yell at me, okay? I will be okay if Sony goes, dude, PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2 is going to be photorealistic graphics, and it's going to run at this frames a second in this HD quality, blah blah blah, and you're going to be able to play every single game in VR, even if it doesn't have native VR support. They can say all of those things.
Yeah.
Right? They can make all the claims in the world, but then go, Brian, you still have to have this one cable that attaches to the PS5. And I'll be the one guy out there going, okay. I'm totally fine with it. Like I've for 2 years. No, almost 3 years now.
Man.
I've been playing with that cable. And I don't know if I'm just used to it, but man, as long I think the big thing is going to be the inside out tracking, where like when I'm playing with the Quest, I can just reach down on the ground and grab something and not have to worry about going out of tracking range. I can spin around. I can have my back to nothing. It doesn't matter where my back is because there's no front, right? And it's so hard to get your mindset out of that old PlayStation VR mindset. I said mindset twice. That those upgrades alone, I'm going to be happy with in PSVR 2. If I need one cable attaching me to PlayStation 5 to have photorealistic graphics and an incredible immersive experience, I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, I think the cable on the the original PSVR, I think it works because it is a tether. It kind of reminds you, no stupid, stay here. Right? Because if you wander too far, you're outside of tracking and all that. So it's a physical reminder of the limitations of the system. But I think I tend to disagree. Like it, from day one, it's been my biggest complaint about the system is the wire. I understand why it's there. I understand why it's necessary. I also know it's annoying. When you're playing Spark and I just disconnected from the game.
Yeah, well, let's hope. Hopefully, they have a better solution than that.
Yeah,
right? The breakout box is. kind of messy. And next up comes from Rody the Game Cat.
Rody!
From the Discord server. He writes, hashtag viewer takeover, hashtag it's a thing. So now that you have a hopping community.
Hopping.
Do kitties?
I'm hopping. I'm hopping mad.
Okay, they're kind of, they snuggle more than hop.
Hopping mad.
Or they stalk. I think cats are stalkers, aren't they? More than hopping.
It's a Kermit reference.
People are already tuned out. So now that we have a hopping community, do you still play multiplayer with randoms or people you know, or just people you know? I had totally given up on multiplayer until I found this community. Now I found myself looking forward to getting into games with cats. Good question, Rody. I mean, I play pretty much with everybody. One of my, I love playing like Firewall.
Yeah,
Firewall is one of my favorites. You know, Honor and Duty D-Day, especially if you got a big group together, you got to play D-Day. And I love, you know, I think the first invite always goes to the cats.
Yeah.
You know, oh, you guys watch the channel, you guys are fans of the channel, or you guys are, you know, into what we do. By all means, you're the first people I reach out to and say, hey, do you want to play a game? But one of my favorite things to do is play Firewall late at night and not tell anybody.
Yeah,
just go into public matches. Just go, hey, what's going on? Hey, yeah, whatever. Hey, you want to play a game? Yeah, all right, cool. All right, excellent. I don't know these people. They have no idea who I am most of the time. And then we get to play, and we just get to play Firewall. And we don't talk about the channel, and it's really nice sometimes to take a step away and be anonymous.
And your screen name doesn't really track to the channel or to your name. So unless people already know that's your screen name, they're not gonna.
I'll tell you something about Firewall players. People who play Firewall generally just play Firewall. Like. That is a big percentage of Firewall players.
Interesting.
They're barely PSVR gamers, right?
Okay.
And that's not a disrespect. That is like you guys found your calling in life, and man, you were going full force into it. Because anytime I go into public matches and they don't know who I am, I go, what else you guys been playing? And they go, just this. It's very, very common response.
I was having a talk with one of my coworkers, and we were talking. I was like, yeah, VR, blah blah blah. You know, doing my whole spiel, and like, oh, and there's Firewall, which is kind of like Counter-Strike for VR. What?
Right.
And instantly it's like, when can you bring it into work?
Yeah. And so those people who play Firewall religiously and don't really branch out, they have no idea who we are. Yeah. Which is fine. I'm like, oh, okay, that's like a whole separate sect of PSVR, which is very cool. I'd love to find out. Like,
does that mean we have to have a Firewall-centric show now?
I don't know. I told God Cannon to do it. I'm like, get on that. We'll see what happens.
That being said, you know, there are games like Spark I will still play with completely random people and have a blast with. Star Trek, I think, again, because Star Trek is just, it attracts my kind of people. But I'd still say in general, not just the Game Cat community, because we're just all awesome, but in general, the VR community seems to be, they're a little more open-minded, I guess. They're a little more, you know, future-forward, so they're, in general, cooler to hang out with.
Yeah. I will say, if you want to, if there's any games out there that you really want to play that, you know, have dead communities, that's no one in the lobby, again, hit up our Discord.
Yes.
Go to the multiplayer meetups channel.
Yep.
And man, I mean, if it wasn't for, again, Amanda, like, I bet Werewolves Within and Smashbox Arena wouldn't ever see any activity.
Yeah. There's actually, I know when we did our episode, I can't remember, pull the website at the top of my head, but there is a website which will show you the server activity of Werewolves Within. And I guarantee you'll see
right, certain spikes whenever the cats are playing. So yeah, again, join the Discord, and if there's any game that you want to play, especially games like that don't have any activity, it's not that hard to get a game going. There's always people online going, hey, anybody want to play a game?
Yeah, it's weird. Like 24 hours a day, there's always someone on Discord.
Even if it's just me.
Yeah.
Just typing exclamation point coffee and talking to Astrobot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just posting like, I want to play Spark, and a bunch of people hop on. Yeah.
All right. I think you're up, Asia?
I am. We have Bill Ramio. Hello. Hi.
From the
Discord.
Oh, why am I taking over?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Hashtag viewer takeover, like a pro. Do you have any idea what happened to Naked Sun? Oh. It looked pretty nice, and I definitely prefer rail shooters over wave shooters. But besides the obvious rush of blood, all I got was Darkness Roller Coaster. And that's not really good. Or did I miss some?
How is Rush of Blood so good?
Yeah, it's
a launch title.
It's a launch title.
Currently on sale, super cheap, pretty much worldwide.
And it's by a developer, like, they, you know, if you look at their other games, they have nothing to do with that kind of game. Right. So yeah, how is it so good? It's kind of like Table of Tales. Like how did they make this so good?
How did they make it so good?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So Naked Sun. I mean, you can go look at one of the trailers. I guess it looks okay. I guess I think you're seeing something there that I didn't.
Well, I mean, I guess two things about Naked Sun.
Yeah.
One, the developer's last tweet was sometime in 2018.
Not a good sign.
Even though, so they said it was coming to PSVR. I'm gonna say, just guess. I'm assuming that either they went radio silent, and they're hard at work on the PSVR port. Don't think that's happening.
No.
I'm guessing they probably went bankrupt and went under. Naked Sun developers are out there listening. If you're not, let me know, and we can correct that statement.
Yeah, please do.
Two, it's like a 45-minute game. It's a super
Right.
short rail shooter. I think it's $10. I could be wrong on the Steam store. So in the reviews are So I don't think we actually missed too much there. The graphical style looked pretty simple.
Which I'm not against necessarily. Just a simple graphical style is not an end all be all for me. But
Yeah, I just didn't see anything very exciting. So again, he
Exactly.
saw something that we didn't.
Yeah, and I'm kind of getting to the point where we're like in Jaws mode, just another wave shooter, which is kind of like a shooter, or Jars mode, just another rail shooter. I just it is
Something people say, yeah.
well, that's what I've been saying.
Oh, okay.
Jaws, yeah. It is just something we've talked about before. It's a very obvious, I have two things in my hands. Those must be guns. Okay. And,
Right.
and it's a very easy step to take. And there's very little innovation in that. And we do. And when something comes out that we like, Space Pirate Trainer or,
Blasters of the Universe.
Blast of the Universe.
I liked it.
Yeah. But when I want to see them something new and interesting to the party, and from what I saw of Naked Sun, they didn't really bring anything new and interesting,
Right.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
Archangel. Archangel's the game.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, Archangel's the game that I always recommend when this topic comes up. I think this was actually already mentioned in the Discord server, so we're not probably delivering any good information to you right now.
Archangel was the. It's over. I was just having fun.
Yeah, just a couple hours in, and then suddenly you're like, oh wow, beautiful game though.
Absolutely.
Stunning graphics, rail shooter, surprising rail shooter. It when you start it up, you don't realize that that's kind of what it's doing.
Yeah, it hides it well.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Plenty of weapon upgrades, a lot of stuff to shoot. Very, very graphically intensive game. Definitely worth playing through once. The only downside is you definitely should wait for a sale because there's no New Game Plus mode. There's not a lot of reason to replay it. I wish there was a New Game Plus mode because man, carrying over and then continuing to upgrade your weapons would be awesome. But say Levy. And then finally, Mr. Sonic on the Discord server says, do you plan on making your No Man's Sky journey alone, or will you be joining people from time to time? This was a question that was asked before I started my No Man's Sky series. There's only one episode in the series so far. But my plan is, here's the thing. I know there's a lot of people are like, oh my, just read the title of the video. Please read the title of the video. The series is called Prepping for VR. Right? So it's me in non-VR playing No Man's Sky because people have told me I need to play like 200 hours of this game before I can review it. And so I'm really far. I'm 198 hours away from that now. So I'm playing and I'm streaming to kind of give you guys, let you in on my journey, my No Man's Sky journey, and let you see me figure things out, let you see the planets that I'm discovering and naming, all the things that I'm interacting with and encountering in my journey. The plan was for the first couple episodes to be solo. And then today, on my very first episode, about a half an hour in, not even, I hear Dave Station's voice. And I was like, oh, I guess this is now multiplayer. And it was nice. We had Woody the Bluebird join in. We had Joyce the Guru join in, and they were kind of showing me the ropes. Instead of me figuring things out on my own, they were just being like, oh, here's how you do things. And I think it might have been probably more interesting to watch without me dying over and over and over and over again. But that is the beginning of my journey. So yes, I started already allowing people into my game. And I think over the course of the next 198 hours, I will be inviting pretty much whoever wants to crash the party.
No, literally starting from now, he's just announced that he's streaming for 198 hours straight as soon as we finish recording here.
That's kind of I wish I could do that. I wish I didn't have any other responsibilities on this channel.
198 hours.
It.
You would die. You would die.
People would come by and feed me coffee and pizza. I'd be fine.
You need sleep.
It would only be 10 days straight. It's nothing. There are people in internet cafes in Korea right now on their 20th day.
Yeah, and they die.
But after their 20th day, they made it for a while. But it's going to be a daily stream.
Okay.
And that is daunting to me.
That is daunting.
Because I don't know where to find 2 hours every day.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of days it's going to be longer than 2 hours because I really need to make some progress faster.
And and unfortunately my big plan was, I was like, oh, I work at this cool place now. I have a whole lunch hour. I've got like, hey, I'm a internet company. And I got my computer all set up to do the remote play, and I brought it into work. And turns out, for a high-tech internet company, well, it's not that our internet is crap. It's just that it's doing so much that it doesn't really have room apparently for streaming. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. I'm kind of a little stuck. I was really planning on putting a couple hours here and there, and
an amazing game. What I mean, people.
No, it's great. What I've played is phenomenal.
People talk about Hello Games and what a turnaround this has been, and what a success story. They've really turned. Like it was such a horror story to start with. So much negative press, so much negative everything from games journalism. Excuse me, or big major media outlets, and it is. When I started today, I saw that my saved game was from literally day one.
Yeah,
and it was like an hour and a half. And I was like, well, I'm going to delete that and start over.
Yeah.
And holy crap, what a night and day difference this was from day one. Graphics, beautifully polished. Just everything felt really, really good. Yeah. And everything felt really crunchy on day one. Oh, cool. So I'm really happy that Hello Games turned everything around, in this VR patch. Exceeds any expectation we could have had for this game. Really just sends it into the stratosphere as far as.
I'm because I have played some of it. I've probably put in 3 or 4 hours now, and the more I play it, the more like how
no idea,
because like Skyrim is a fraction of a percent of what No Man's Sky is potentially capable of, right. And that's a multiplayer in there. So much stuff going on. If they pull this off, they need to start like doing lectures and workshops for other developers, because they're going to do something magical.
Yeah. I feel like they've already done something magical.
They have, yes.
And this is just the cherry on top.
Yeah. It'll just be like a stick figure.
Amazing cherry.
Yeah.
This is great. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining and hanging out, Patreon viewer and stuff.
Yeah. So, like we said,
you just witnessed my brain fry.
Yeah. Oh, mine fried a while ago. So yeah, if you want to see what this guy's all about, join us on Patreon and join us for an upcoming Litterbox, and I'll explain that whole thing. But even if you don't join us for that, it is a cool place to kind of come hang out and just see a little behind the curtains, talk about, we talk with you, you talk with us about what's going on.
That's the Litterbox.
Litterbox.
Yeah, yes. Patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
And hit us up for $1 or more every month. Make sure you submit your viewer takeover questions in our Discord. Make sure you join the Discord in the hashtag viewer takeover channel on Discord, or hit hashtag viewer takeover and add it to the comments. Make sure you change your name to GameCat and let us know by putting hashtag GameCat in the comments, so we can give you a shout out on next week's show. And also, that's it. We love you all. Don't know how to start shows.
I got this horse right here. His name is Paul Revere.